extraordinary, I would say, encyclopedia person. The knowledge contained underneath that woolen 1916 Louisville baseball hat could fill the studio and more. So I'm really glad you're here to share it before your head explodes.
Yes, that's a good thing.
You've got to let some of that out every once in a while. Harry's an experienced trial attorney and retired chief deputy prosecutor. I'm reading the thing that he wrote for me, who is also a big baseball researcher, professional writer, civic leader, juvenile law expert, and criminal justice professional. You've published numerous articles.
But read the very end.
The very end.
The
He
very
shared
end of
his
my
love.
biography.
He's shared his love for the national game many times on local radio and TV, and has appeared on ESPN Classic and NPR's Morning Edition. I know. I'm getting to it. His 8th grade baseball team at St. Vincent de Paul practiced each evening at Parkway Field amidst the rubble and wreckage of that stadium as it was being torn down. When he grows up, Harry hopes to be the third base coach for the Dodgers. I love that. Now, did you have that aspiration when you were in 8th grade? To be the third base, or is that now?
In the 8th grade, all I wanted to do was be able to hit a fastball, curveball, changeup, screwball, spitball, or anything that was thrown, which I was unable to do, which is why I never played baseball beyond the 8th grade.
Oh, my gosh, that's incredible. So you loved it, but you didn't play it. So you didn't go into high school or college? Why? Why didn't you play baseball? You loved it so much.
I couldn't hit a thrown pitch.
Why? You don't know?
I don't know.
Just happened that way?
That's just, some people have it and some people don't. I went on to play slow pitch softball for 25 years at a high level, so I'm grateful for that.
That's pretty cool.
And
when you say high level, what does that mean?
AAA. You know, we played three times a week in tournaments on weekends. So
that's pretty big.
It was
Did you
a
travel?
lot of fun. Yes, we did.
Yeah. Did you win some big tournaments?
We played in a lot of big tournaments and won 3 or 4 of them. Yeah.
Wow,
so
good for you.
That was a good thing.
Did you keep the trophies?
They're up in my attic right now, gathering dust.
By the way, James Banzer just logged on. I'm sure he's a big baseball fan. He's an outstanding newsman. Ann Tishner, Barbara Powers, Cindy Good, Gary Sipes, and it says, and 4 others. I love that, except when you click on 7 others, you have to click really fast to get to 4 others. I think Kelly Rose Magnuson is still listening. David Green, Larry Estep, Philip Michael Rich, Kathy Van Adekandel, and all the rest that I just mentioned. Thanks, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in.
Well, let me say. We talked about Toad Ramsey and how
Yes.
how Toad had to have some liquor poured into him back in the 1880s before he pitched well. And
yes, he did.
Let me take you back to the 1880s to another guy who was similarly situated, and that was Louis Rogers Browning, better known as Pete Browning.
Pete Browning. I've heard of him.
Now you may recognize the name because of Browning's restaurant. It used to be down at Louisville Slugger Field, named after Pete Browning.
I'll be darned.
Pete's the only player to have hit over 400 in any one season not to be in the Hall of Fame.
Why?
Now, well, because Pete had a very, very unusual and storied
past.
Yeah, his career was rather unusual. He battled. His battles with fly balls and liquor were of daily report in the newspapers back then. He was illiterate. When he heard once that when somebody told him that President Garfield died, he said, "Oh yeah, what league was he in?" And
he was smarter than you think.
He was deaf.
Aww.
He was a defensive liability. He was a chronic alcoholic who once said, "I can't hit the ball until I hit the bottle."
What year was this?
1880. Remember, it was Pete Browning who broke his bat in 1884.
Yep.
And went to his maker of milk churn buddy John A. Bud Hilrick, who at that time was 17, and said, "Bud, can you help me make a new bat for me?" And that's
how interesting.
And that is the origin of the Hilrick and Bradsby company that makes Louisville Sluggers to this very day.
I hate to break this to you. You're not going to want to hear it. It's 3 minutes. Oh, no, it's 2 minutes to 6. Oh, my heart is breaking. I can't go past 6 o'clock, and I wish I could.
That means you can invite me back.
But I will invite you back because you are so much fun. And as I said, a font, an encyclopedic font of knowledge. Our weather is going to be 92 tomorrow with a 30% chance of late day and night thunderstorms. Mid-80s for the rest of the weekend, and then dropping to a cooler temperature on Sunday, which should be very nice, in the 50s overnight. So look forward to some great weather. I look forward to some great music. In about an hour, the Moonlight Peddlers' Heidi Joy Stenson has teamed with Kelly Scott Franklin. They are called the Wildflower Chronicles. A little taste of them is going to be fantastic for 1 hour at 7 o'clock tonight on WCHQ 100.9 FM, Crescent Hill Radio. Smartphone?
Sure.
Put the app to your phone, and you don't have to worry about or whatever. You just, who's without a phone? No one, ever. So you pull out your phone, click the app, you got Crescent Hill Radio right there. Will you do that for me as soon as you leave?
I promise.
Or have you already done it?
I raised my right hand.
I promise. I love that. Harry Rothgerber, please come back.
I will.
I would bring Kurt Candle over here to talk, but he talks so much. He might not let you get a word in edgewise. He's very knowledgeable about a lot of things, though. He's the bike guy. He has been biking because I have back, as I said. I'm Tara Bassett, get from Tara, and I will see you for the Homegrown Radio Hour coming up.
Don't leave my home. Don't leave my home. And hit the road.
You're listening to WCHQ LP, Louisville, Kentucky, 100.9 FM, Crescent Hill Radio. All local music all the time.
It's 96 degrees.
It's 6 o'clock.
Crescent Hill Radio.
Up next, Webster's Nightmare.